Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a Kafka listener by me, so let's get into it. The first time was at the market. It was alive with chatter, the smells of fresh produce, and baked goods filling the air. You were focused on examining a stall of ripe fruits, when Kafka's voice drifted over your shoulder. You know, she said smoothly, leaning close enough that her breath brushed your ear. You look so good under the sunlight. Makes me want to buy the entire market just to keep everyone's eyes off you. Your face immediately grew warm, and you turned to her with wide eyes. Kafka, we're in public. She smirked, clearly delighted by your reaction. Exactly what I mean. Let them see how cute you are when you blush. And let them see that only I can do that. You rolled your eyes, trying your best to focus back on the fruit. But your pink cheeks definitely betray how flustered you felt. And it was something that Kafka excelled at. The second time was at a gala. The grand ballroom was a sea of elegantly dressed guests, all going about their day with drinks in hand. You had just escaped from a particularly dull conversation when Kafka appeared at your side, holding 2 glasses of champagne. Look at you. You're easily the most beautiful person in this entire room. Everyone else might as well just go home. She purred, her eyes scanning you from head to toe. And you took the glass she offered, trying to ignore the curious glances of nearby guests. Kafka, keep your voice down, he whispered firmly, and she chuckled, tilting her head. But why? The world deserves to know how much I adore you. I'm not ashamed of it. She teased, a mischievous smile on her face. And you could only feel your cheeks burn as you took a long sip of champagne to distract yourself, much to Kafka's amusement. The third time was one when the TV were in a rather quiet street. The both of you were on a stroll, the evening breeze cool against your skin. It was a rather rare moment of peace. But Kafka, ever the agent of chaos, couldn't really resist. I think the street just became the most romantic place in the universe. All because you're walking on it. She mused aloud, her arm casually slipping around your waist. Kafka, you're impossible. You sighed, hiding your face in your hands. Truly, not only were her lines rather cheesy, but, badly enough, they got you to blush as well, which was embarrassing. She laughed, her voice warm and melodic. Impossible to resist, you mean? He shot her a glare, but the pink on your cheeks still stayed, and it gave away how much her words truly affected you, even if you wanted to pretend otherwise. You couldn't, not without difficulty you really made it. The fourth time you remember this happening was at a tavern. It was cozy, dimly lit, and the scent of wood smoke and ale were thick in the air. You sat at a small table, waiting for your food, when Kafka slid into the seat across from you. And she rested her chin on her hand, her gaze fixed on you. She stayed quiet for a couple of moments, as if thinking deeply about something. Then, she began. Did you know, her voice low and intimate, that you're the only reason I ever come to places like this? Everything else pales in comparison, and the only sight that brings me here is that of your mesmerizing eyes. You froze mid-sip of your drink, coughing as her words sunk in. Kafka, seriously? Are you set on embarrassing me? She leaned forward, her smirk deepening. There is nothing embarrassing about the truth, honey. You only have to believe me. And I suppose that shouldn't be too difficult, is it? Your flustered expression only seemed to encourage her further, as she reached out to trace a finger along your hand that was resting on the table. And you're truly adorable when you're embarrassed. It really makes it worth it. Kafka, he muttered, hiding your face in your hands. It was truly a hopeless endeavor with her. The fifth time was on a train. The train car was rather quiet. Most passengers either keeping to themselves as the world blurred past the windows, or were already asleep. You were seated beside Kafka, enjoying the gentle rhythm of the ride, when she decided to strike again. You know, I could stare at you forever, and even then it wouldn't be enough. Not nearly. She said, her voice soft, yet clearly audible in the hushed car. And you blushed, your eyes darting around to see if anyone had heard her. A few passengers glanced over, and they looked a little bit amused, but thankfully no one said anything. Kafka, how about you wax poetic about me somewhere else? You say, blushing brightly. Why not? It's not like I'm lying. You're absolutely beautiful, darling. She says, and her hands flew to your face, desperate to hide the deep blush spreading across your cheeks. She chuckled, clearly pleased with herself, and placed a gentle hand on your knee. Relax, darling. I'm just telling you the truth, and you should try hearing it without turning away. All right? You really like embarrassing me, don't you? Embarrass you? Never. I just like reminding you how much I love you. You sighed, leaning your head against her shoulder. One of these days, I'll get you back for this. And I'd like to see you try. She teased, pressing a soft kiss to her forehead. And despite everything, you couldn't help but feel grateful for her affection. Because no matter how much she teased you, her love for you was the most honest thing in your life.